Hello, welcome to another video of Travis's Tanks, the budget way to be an aquarist. Today we're going to talk about basically how I do my brine shrimp, my baby brine shrimp specifically, hatching them. Anyone who's been in the hobby for a while already knows this, so you can just ignore this video. It's for people who might not have. Basically, if you're going fry, like I do, baby brine shrimp is pretty much the best food you're going to get, hands down. You can use stuff like first bites from Hatchery. I use it from time to time if I don't happen to have a batch or if I don't have enough fry to need to make a batch. So what I've done, dollar store. So a lot of people will do it with a pop bottle or something like that. I wanted something a little bit more sturdy than a pop bottle, and maybe I want my deposit back. Dollar store, road cone. As you can see, Dollarama right there, $1.50. Basically, drill 2 holes, aquarium silicone around it, just to make sure it's not going to leak. If the hole is slightly smaller than the tube, it's probably not going to leak anyway. And then I got 2 just flow control valves on the end. Probably not even necessary. You could just use a clothespin to pinch it closed if you want to, but bottom one's drilled, connects to my air pump, so bubbling around. Top one, that's my drain valve. I purposely made it slightly above the bottom in the event that some eggs don't hatch, which does happen from time to time. They will settle below that valve. So when I go to drain it, they don't come up with it. It works really well for me. My hatch rates are high 90%. And I drain it into like a fine mesh net, which actually works twofold for me. Some don't get caught, the really small ones. They go in the fridge for the morning feed. Saves me running 2. But in total, what is that? $2.50, give or take. I personally have a little kind of holder for a candle or a vase or something that I basically use to hold it up. I'll go through what I do to get my hatch rates. It's maybe different for you, but again, showing you what works for me. All right, so let's go set it up and I'll show you what I do. And here's my basic setup. See, it fits perfectly in this stand, so that's why I tend to use it. For my specific recipe or whatnot is 1 liter of water. Now, the beauty about these cones, if you can see, there's a rib at the top, which happens to be exactly 1 liter of water. So when this goes in here, right to the rib. So I don't actually have to worry about actually measuring it. Makes it easier for future ones. I just use that to transport the water to my filming location. So I just fill to the rib. Perfect. I use, this time anyway, just API pond salt. It was a lot cheaper than aquarium salt, and it's the exact same thing. With it being 1 liter all the time, tablespoons, 2 tablespoons salt. Then baking soda. I have very soft acidic water, so I always do half a teaspoon. So half a teaspoon of baking soda. Boom. Then I just use the store-bought brine shrimp eggs, only because I haven't made a visit to Amazon to buy a big tub yet. But what I'm going to do is connect it. And there it goes. I use about that level of bubbles. Well, air pump goes to my air valve. This one's obviously closed. But once those are in, I let it bubble around for probably a good minute or 2. Dissolves all the salt, dissolves all the baking soda. Add my brine shrimp eggs. I'm specifically 1/4 teaspoon. That'll vary by the amount you have to feed, of course. And then I've got the desk lamp. Now, there has been things I've read where they don't need light, they do need light, etc. I have good hatch rates when I do put a light over it, as well as the heat from the basic incandescent bulb I got in there keeps the water at a good temperature. Like I said, my hatch rates are great. maybe give it a try. Dollar store cone. Some kind of stand to hold it on. Doesn't really matter. You could even screw some spindles or something through these holes and just mount it that way. A couple valves. One for air, one for drain. Bob's your uncle. You got brine shrimp. My hatch is about 24 to 26 hours is generally what I have going. Very little unhatched eggs. Very good for feeding the amount of fish that I have. Well, hopefully that helps somebody. I know it's not special, it's not fancy. It does the job and it does it on the cheap.